Hello and welcome to Camera Review. Today we are going to be talking about Nikon Z 58mm f 0.95 lens. Yes, it is the fastest 58mm lens that is out there in the market. It is going to be probably the best lens in the market at any focal length for quality and image that is out of this world. I've seen the images that are out there, and that is something that is very truly unique to produce a lens this fast that is going to perform incredibly well under low light circumstances. Now, before I get into the specs and explain how that will happen, I want to talk about a little bit about the lens that preceded this. As you may know, this lens was first probably produced in 1977. It was introduced. It was a lens that made a big mark because it was called the Noct, or which means nighttime light, and that was f1.2, and it was a very sought after lens. That lens made a big mark in the market because it was very hard to own and it was very expensive. Today they still sell over $3,000, and of course, as a lens, comparatively, this lens is far superior. It is going to deliver far better results because it is designed with the highest technology, with the highest level of coatings. It's going to reduce all the ghosting, it's going to reduce all the flares, it's going to be very, very good for removing distortions. And this lens, I think, as far as lenses are concerned, is going to make a revolutionary step in the direction of getting the highest quality optics. With a good camera body and a combination of this lens, you are going to capture images that are going to be unmatched by any lens out there, because it has the most beautiful rendition of bokeh that I have seen in a lens, because it has a very shallow depth of field. Now, the drawback to that is it's going to have this incredibly shallow depth of field, which means you're going to probably have less than an inch when you're taking images close. And also the fact that if you're photographing, you need to make sure the subject is not moving, because you can easily throw somebody's eyes out of focus. Or if you're taking photographs of moving objects, you have to make sure that you have nailed the focus, and nailing the focus usually requires the subject stay stationary. So it is, for that reason, it is a little bit difficult to operate this lens. But beyond that, if you nail the focus, the world will see those images as something that's truly extraordinary, because it has this separation from the background. It has this beautiful rendition of color tones that go and smooth out the edges, and to make everything that in the background turn into this beautiful pastelish look of colors, that a blend of colors that is going to give you a very unique look. So if you look at the lens itself, it's a very, very heavy lens. It has some of the more modern features, is like digital dial that shows your aperture and your settings. If you look at this lens closely, you're going to see that it has 50 centimeter focusing distance, which is 1.6 feet. So you're going to have a much better performing lens than what had been prior. Now, we are also going to do comparative side by side in the future with the Leica lens. We have the Noctilux. But before we put those side by side, first let's look at this lens from a perspective what it is going to be able to do. As far as I've seen it, it has the most complex design structure with 17 elements in 10 groups. That means this technology that the Nikon has put into it is stellar. They have designed a lens that is going to deliver results, that is going to reduce distortion, is going to help you to capture images that is going to look like it is out of this world. And for that, I think you have to thank the engineers at Nikon that have gathered all that information, and they have perfected the lens that had a very good history already. So as a lens that can deliver great results, this is perfect. Also, you're going to see this lens as 11 aperture blaze. That means you're going to have beautiful rendition of bokeh, or bokeh as some might call it, and that is very important for a lens this fast. Of course, it is very heavy. It comes in at about 2 kilograms, which is 4.4 pounds, and that means it's going to be much heavier than the camera body. It's going to be something that needs to be held very well. It has a foot, so that means you can put it on a tripod, which is the way it should be used to capture the images, because the camera shake you will have from holding it handheld at the widest aperture is going to be very difficult to nail the focus. What is beautiful though is you're going to be able to use it in low light circumstances and get incredibly beautiful images, because it is going to be able to gather so much light, and it's going to be allowing the lens to deliver accurate renditioning of details that have been very difficult to do at wide apertures like the f1.4 or f0.95. Even the most capable and the highest quality lenses that are out there cannot deliver very sharp images at wide open 0.95 and even numbers at f1.4. The images that I have seen state that this is incredibly sharp at the in focus areas. That means that you are able to get as much detail as possible from the image, yet have this beautiful graduation of tones that fall into the out of focus areas, creating this almost surreal look into those images. Those images I'm going to share with this video so you can look at it and make your own judgments. There's also an article that is attached to this review that you'll find on our website that is going to explain a little bit more about this lens, and also show you some of the sample images that you can make your own judgment about. So as a lens itself, I think they have made history. It far supersedes the lenses that are out there in the market. As a 58mm, I think this is just a unique lens by itself. One thing I would have always wanted to have about this lens is the autofocus. It does not have autofocus. It's a manual focus lens. That means you have to focus it by hand, which is very difficult because you don't always see whether you got the eye in focus without having to enlarge the image, and that makes it very cumbersome to get the accurate focus. Again, what is important is what you are getting out of it. If you're using it in studio, this is a great lens to do. If you're doing it outdoors, you have to ensure that you're on a tripod to capture that image. But as a lens itself, I think that is unmatched in any fashion because of the technology that it incorporates. You got what they call the Arneo coat, which is beautiful for reducing ghosting. They have nanocrystal coating and fluorine coating, which is applied individually into different elements, that is going to suppress the flare as well and give clean, accurate color renditioning. So that is very important because those coatings do make important changes as the light travels through the lens to hit the sensor at the correct angle. That way you don't have color fringing, you don't have chromatic aberration issues. These are things that are very, very important to consider. And the fact that this lens is over 4 pounds tells you that the lens elements are designed to give perfect images. So as an investment point of view, spending $8,000 may not seem like a prudent decision. As an investment point of view, I think it's a great lens that will be very sought after years and years from now. If Nikon continues to produce lens over the next 4 or 5 years, you're going to probably see this lens price go up because this lens is probably very expensive to produce, and Nikon is ensuring that this quality is there for years to come. As compared to, for example, the Leica's lenses and Noct 50mm or 75mm, you're going to find that this still costs less than that. Most of the lenses like the Leica 75mm cost over 12,000 US dollars. This is around $8,000, so that is a fairly priced lens for what it offers. As for someone who wants to use it in the studio to create incredibly different images, this is one of those tools that no other thing that you can do in post-production will give you the actual results. This is in camera, you're going to get these out of focus areas and beautiful transitions. That is going to create a unique perspective in those images, more so than anything else that is available out there. There is a big difference between shooting f1.4 or f0.95. 0.95 means that you're going to get the eyes in focus, but the nose will be out of focus. We are talking about less than an inch of focus area. So that is very crucial if you are going to use this. If you are a professional photographer and you want to create a special look, this could be your lens. This could be the one that can deliver that difference. As an investment point of view, as I mentioned, it is an important decision. But if you go in this direction, you're going to be rest assured that lens is going to hold its value for years to come, as so has been for the f1.2 version of this lens. Now, if you're considering to purchase the f1.2, I provided links down below for trusted sellers of this lens. You not want to buy a bad copy, you want to buy a good copy if you're considering it. But if you are looking to get the best quality, the lens that is designed for digital technology with the latest technology, this is your lens. And by buying this lens, you are investing into a digital technology. That means that you're going to get the optimum results from the Z6, Z7, and Z50 cameras that are already been in the market for quite some time. For those people who want to use it on the crop sensor, it's going to give an 87mm equivalent. That means it is going to be exactly what a portrait lens should be for capturing images. For resolving power, it I think can resolve a very high number, probably in the 100 megapixel range, that the lenses still have a lot of ground still safe before the technologies and sensors go up to that level. The highest technology in the market is still in the 50-60 megapixel range for the full frames. I think that we're going to see in the next 5 to 6 years the numbers going up even further. But you have to also understand that as the numbers go up, there is a problem with diffraction. Diffraction happens when the sensor sizes are too small for the sensor, the receiving areas. So those each pixel is too small so that the light does not affect it properly. It will cause diffraction, and the light has to travel very well. The lens has to be able to resolve very well to be able to take advantage of those. A lot of lenses today in the market do not resolve for 50 or 60 megapixels. So it is very important to have a high quality lens like this Z58 to get those best details, to get those accuracy in colors. This is what this lens is about. If you look at the design, I will go into more details in the future reviews. It's got 3 aspherical elements and one large large diameter aspherical element that is going to reduce the spherical aberrations. It's going to reduce the distortions. These are things that have gone into this design that makes it probably the best lens that Nikon has ever produced. So I congratulate Nikon for bringing out a lens like this. As I said, we are going to have our reviews with the side-by-side comparison with the Leica Noct 50mm, and I'm going to show you the results. You're going to see how they differ, how they have things in common, and you can make your decisions upon whether this lens is actually superior to what has been in the market. As far as I have seen the images, I can tell you that is something that I have not seen in a long time from a lens that has changed my point of view about how capable these lenses have come forward in terms of technology. And for that, we are going to be able to use this lens for many years to come with incredible results. So I hope this has been informative. I hope you have gathered some information from this, and I invite you to visit the links down below and the full review that we have on our website with regarding to this lens. I hope to see you in our next review. Thank you for watching.